All right, so let's see. I see a lot of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jessie the Danger Mouse is currently... Oh, we still got 3 minutes. Plenty of time.
I didn't jump the gun or anything because we started talking about campaign stuff.
Oh, well, that's fine too. I like the no warning. That's always the best way.
It's usually trying to catch you singing, but not this time. Yes.
I actually never learned the one to the Son of a Bitch song. I like the song. I really do. But I don't know the words to it. I just know, like, as I hear it, I just start yelling in my car, "Son of a bitch!" And then I'm like, something, son of a bitch! Something else. Son of a bitch! It just...
You're making my audio meters go in red,
Sorry.
Casey.
I should...
Get back in your tin can.
He's getting slowly and slowly more Italian for some reason.
There is Italian in my background somewhere.
Somewhere.
Like on the wall, or?
I mean, it could be. I did have macaroni and cheese tonight. That sounds Italian. Sounds. The cheese got me. It sounds. Wisconsin cheese over pasta. You guys aren't on that courtyard. What are you doing up there, you silly gooses?
Did you say Waverly is not joining us tonight, or...
I thought Waverly was.
Okay, cool.
I think we're just waiting for her.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
To get here.
Ping.
Fair warning if one of us might have to step away for a minute at some point tonight, because we're expecting a package that, of course, was on the truck for delivery at 8 a.m., but is still not here.
You kidding? Holy crap.
Of course.
Of course. It's like pitch black outside now, too. Lots of frozen snow, so that'll be safe for them, I'm sure.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
So cold.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I'm
Where
in
are
a
you
bundle
again?
of blankets.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in Michigan.
Ooh, yeah.
Whoa.
It
You
is
got
like
worse.
negative 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, I'm in Madison.
Yep.
Wind chill was negative 60 a couple days ago.
There you are.
Nope. I think
No?
it was again.
No, that was
Wait.
Athy.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Low
Athy.
energy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And the fact that it is freezing.
I led a
And,
room to try to make news again, and then Discord had a fit. But
Kitty, we gotta get you like a sun lamp.
who, me?
No, Kitty.
What? Oh. What do I need a lamp
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
probably should.
I do find them actually helpful. Although my sun lamps were usually not the medical kind so much as they were the I happen to be working under a hot lamp kind.
It's just been a rough week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was supposed to be in Minnesota right now, but my car won't start.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Even with trying to jump it.
Oh.
Dude, you're
How
like
cold
the
is it where you
fourth
are?
person that's needed a new battery that I've talked to today.
I have praised my car up and down the past few days because it has been replaced. The other one, it's replacing the old car that nearly killed me several times last year. And like the battery is fine, the tires are fine. I'm like, you're a good boy.
You know, I don't really know if you want to replace something that nearly killed you. What if the thing you replace it with kills you?
No. My new car is better. My new car is better. It heats up faster. It doesn't have leather seats. It doesn't slide across anything resembling moisture on the road.
Those are all good things.
Never, ever buy a Mercedes-Benz, guys. Ever.
Oh, don't you worry.
No, mine was like a used one, like $5,000 used. Those things are like gigantic, heavy sleds in the snow.
That looks like everybody.
That does look like everybody.
Sorry,
I wasn't watching the clock.
Oh, that's okay. I think you're actually very close
Yeah,
to
you
on
were-
time.
You were almost on time.
You're like 30 seconds late. We're just impatient. So, how about we roll credits? We all take our final sips and settle in. Kyle's still muted, so I assume he's frantically scrambling around and doing things.
No, he's been relieved of duty.
Ooh.
Duty. Okay, gonna on that note.
About talking over it.
Neat.
See.
I'm gonna burn the heck out of myself. I'm gonna put that back down. Don't touch that. I have last evening. Hang on. It's live again. I see myself blinking. So on an unrelated note, last evening I was playing with my voices and I hurt my throat a lot. So I've been drinking a lot of tea tonight. So if I happen to suddenly go herk, it's because I can't talk anymore. I'll figure it out in a second. But other than that, welcome back. So over the past few months, we've had a bit of an adventure. The party of orphans reassembled in Greenest, and they fought their way first through a dungeon of rats. And then they fought their way through a dungeon of ogres and oni, and a dungeon of kobolds, and a dungeon of bullywugs. And they didn't really fight their way through the dungeon at the cool little hunter's lodge, but they managed to get their way through it anyway. So I would say the party as a whole has got dungeons under their belt. In the very first session, the party also dealt with a dragon. So I would like to think that at this point, as a DM, I've almost done my job. We have played the game Dungeons and Dragon. However, that's not the name of the game. The name of the game is Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragons.
As we go into this evening, let's find out what's going on. And I see people's names blinking, but I don't hear anything. So somebody make some noise for me.
Making noise.
Hello.
Noise.
We hear you,
Noise.
Athy.
I switched to a different
mute?
computer, so see how that goes.
Poor Athy.
No! Restarting Discord. Back in a second.
So is it happening to everybody now?
I can hear people, but a lot of times
Hey.
the sound digitizes out, so it could be a Discord thing.
Nope, I hear people now.
Well, there
I
are
wasn't
more
here.
people in the Midwest Vortex in this game than any other one. Meh?
Neat.
But it doesn't seem to be the people that it's happening
I know.
to.
So, Discord's being cool as well. Nice. So, we're going to carefully progress over to the map here, and I see that most of the party is hanging out in the barracks. Now, in these barracks, several cultists did die. They have been removed for snacks by several ogres. They've been looted thoroughly, though they didn't have a lot on them. The party has acquired some treasures from when they investigated Resmir's room, a fabulous mask stand, and a bit of coinage and gems and jewelry and such. I did let the party know a few things that happened in the interim. Would anyone who was affected by those things like to share some of the happenings?
Son of a bitch!
With context. Please.
So that comes from Telaise as she's examining one of these letters that everyone has found. And it reads as follows. I have something that may interest you. My services as an apprentice are expensive but worthwhile. Send up blue smoke if you wish to meet. And it is horribly smudged and crumpled, and there is a rubbing of a locket with a dagger-like blade in it. It is signed AU. The rubbing of the locket is very familiar to Telaise because it was her locket that she lost with her fucking backpack.
So that is a thing that did happen. It appears that the Oni AU has paid call in the castle and met with Rathmodan. You do recall a conversation and the term apprentice coming up not long before you made your own rest, short one, and then stormed into the room to find a water elemental frozen in place. Valandra's mother. Other things did happen if anyone would like to share.
Joey, let me look at that sword you got. Just, it looks interesting. What does that look like?
You know, big, murdery. It's got our blood on it. Probably evil.
Well, don't be selfish. I just want to look at it. It's okay. I won't take your new toy. Let me just see it.
Okay.
And Kuhloe will kind of reach out to almost touch it, but then kind of shake her head and take her hand back, and just mutter something to herself, and kind of walk away.
Swords don't have cooties.
Which is odd, because as he says that, his sword just falls on top of him.
But they do get jealous, I think.
God, I've never seen karma work so quickly. Haha.
So, with that, time does pass. You do get some sleep in, you get some rest, you get some food, you have the benefits of your long rest, and around about midnight, everyone seems to be hitting that antsy point. Tom, are you talking? I see you blinking, but I didn't hear anything.
No, I'm always blinking for some reason.
Sorry, I had gone deaf
Your
earlier.
sensitivity might be too, or your threshold might be too low on your voice settings.
Yeah.
If you
I'll
lift your sensitivity.
worry about it later because it doesn't seem to be a problem. It just makes me blink.
Yeah, I wasn't hearing anything, but that's cool. So,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
Yes.
now.
Okay, good.
Yay!
Yes.
Go
All the
Discord,
voices
go.
in my head.
No, I'm pretty sure that was just my mic.
Cool.
But Waverly is, for the record, very interested, just kind of looking down between the gaps in the ice blocks that make up the floor. very, very interested in that.
Why wouldn't you be? So around about midnight, everybody's stretching. You've got your rest on, feeling pretty good-ish. You have gathered from the ogres and from Blagothkus, the giant, that you'll probably be entering cultist airspace where they would expect to be greeted by several more dragons. Come about nightfall. Now that gives you somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 to 15 hours to do whatever you should choose. He has not revealed the exact destination that he's heading toward, but he has mentioned that you will be crossing over the spine of the world, a great range of mountains. And that's kind of the area where he would expect to start finding dragons.
It's really cold up there.
It is quite chilly. But good news, you're in an ice castle, so that'll keep you warm. What would you guys like to do?
I want to check on Harry. He's been stressed out. I want him to see what's.
Harry is a little stressed out, and in fact, Harry is currently sitting at the table. He looks pale, wan, kind of ghastly even. And he's sitting at the table sorting through a pile of stones, just shifting them from one pile to the other as he draws them out of his little tumbler and kind of keeps fiddling with them. And no, it's not that.
Yeah, we should be worried. He sounded almost human for a minute there.
He can get a few words of common out, but no, he's back in Draconic, sort of arguing with himself, chewing on the tip of his tail. Those of you who do speak Draconic, you can hear him as he moves them back and forth, repeating the word stone over and over again. And in and amongst the stones, he inserts Dusk stone, dragon stone. No, dragon stone, Dusk stone. No, Dusk, no dragon, Dusk dragon. And the two piles just seem to be getting bigger and then smaller and bigger. He doesn't seem to be accomplishing much. And the same stones keep moving back and forth.
Okay, I'm just gonna very gently pat him. It's like, honey bun, are you okay? You've been fussing with that for a while.
He just sort of looks up and just takes the stones and puts an arm out and just puts them all back in his stash, and they all just mangle back together again.
He doesn't
darling.
look all that good.
Harry, are you feeling sick? Is something wrong?
And as you guys start to look him over, if you're asking about sickness, I'd like a medicine check. If you're just checking him out in general, maybe a nature.
I guess nature. Let's see. Actually, no, I'll go for medicine.
Sure. That's
Dang
weird. He looks like the color's just washed out of him.
Oh, wait. Is this like what we noticed where his scales would just change colors sometimes?
It does seem a lot like that. He's going white for some reason.
Oh boy.
Oh, is he molten or something?
I don't think so. See, the weird thing is, his scales have sort of been changing colors the whole time we've been running around, and it always... Like, his scales change color to match whatever dragon's hanging about. But if you go in all white, then... Do we know a lot about white dragons?
We know that they exist, and we've seen one.
You do know that they exist, and you have seen one.
I mean, I kind of
There
hope
is
this
likely
isn't the same
one
dragon.
downstairs.
And there's one downstairs that we've been asked to kill.
And there is one
Oh,
downstairs.
it's gonna be that one then. So, Harry's probably nervous because... Harry, do you sense a dragon, like, nearby, like, real close by?
He nods.
Oh, is that why you're all worked up?
Non-committal,
fun.
sort of.
I'm just gonna hug him and pet him a bit. It's like, okay, we're gonna have to deal with this dragon.
So, how to deal with a dragon? Now, you're fairly certain that over to the east or west, this way, map rotates, remember, constantly north-southwesting. There's a stairwell, and that stairwell goes down as well as up. Up, you know, leads to the giants and ogres and several other towers. Down seems to lead to ice caves, where one would suspect a dragon may reside. Of course, you could leave.
How would we manage that? The thing is flying.
Yeah.
Also, just want to point out I know there is a lot of gold here. Like a lot.
I mean,
A lot. I can smell it. It's here.
Yeah.
What's it smell like, Waverly?
Like gold. Aren't you listening?
Smells like the good life.
Well, I do have this potion. And, John will pull out the oil of etherealness. If someone wants to go take a look around. You should still be able to see. You just wouldn't be on the same plane as the rest of us anymore.
It does sound a little bit uncomfortable,
Well,
but it could be useful.
if somebody's gonna be doing some snooping around, I've kind of been holding on to this potion, and it might be useful. The label's all kind of smudged. Hold on, it's been in my bag for a while. It says potion of mind reading. Oh wow, this would have been real helpful before. I say completely straight face. Definitely wasn't because I forgot that was there or anything. Nope.
That seems very in character.
I'm writing that down for later.
So yeah, it seems some resources are being brought to bear. But what's the plan? What are we doing with these fantastical inventions?
Let's say perhaps Waverly takes a sneak around while being even more invisible than invisible. Get at least a layout and see what's happening downstairs. If we're going after this dragon, we might as well have as much information as possible before we make any attempts at anything.
I mean, I can definitely be sneaky, although, again, being on another plane of existence does not sound comfortable, but...
It sounds more comfortable than getting eaten by a dragon?
This is true. I will take this sacrifice.
Hey, didn't Big Man Sandals say cultists?
Cultists.
Like
There's a pale elf.
There's one remaining.
I've got a meta question. The mind reading potion, does it auto translate because it's mind reading, or would you hear somebody else's thoughts in the language they're thinking in?
Hang on, that's a good question.
This is a good question.
Okay,
because whoever's going to use it should probably know
auto translates, I believe.
Draconic.
I was going to say, if there's no ruling on it, I've actually asked somebody once who was bilingual, if they think in English or in Ukrainian, because she's Ukrainian, and she says that it depends on what she's thinking about, and she does switch languages in her head.
Can confirm I'm also bilingual.
I will say that the mind reading, as long as the creature speaks a language, you can understand what's going on, because you're really picking up thoughts. So if they imagine something, you kind of see what they imagine. So it's more than just a language. It's as long as they're in a framework of some intelligent thought, you can pick it up. So yes, you can read the mind of anything that can speak at least a language. Otherwise, it's just too much impulse, not enough thought. So
I would imagine that the creature would have to be on the same plane of existence. So even if she takes that potion with her and runs into the dragon,
that is true. You cannot cross the ethereal boundary with effects like that unless they are specifically able to do so.
Maybe we can use it in the fight.
It does just say a creature you can see, but yeah, I'm guessing.
The ethereal, the oil of ethereal. That effect puts you in the border realm, and you cannot cross it without a special effect. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. So, are we oiling up the Mousefolk?
Well, that was a weird thing to say.
That was
I
very
mean,
weird.
That's a weird thing to say.
I'm just saying what you all are laying out there. It's an oil. It's a Mousefolk.
if she's willing,
Yeah, she's our best scout.
Yep.
should be able to move through walls and stuff.
And floors and stuff, yeah. She wants
This sounds so uncomfortable.
to.
I mean, it could be.
Okay,
So,
wait a minute.
Okay.
Before we start, question.
Aha.
The island that we're on
Mhm.
is moving.
It is.
If you're on the ethereal plane,
You will move with it.
you will move with it.
You will move
Okay.
with it.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God!
Okay, because I was like, oh my god, if she just drops to the island.
That would be terrible.
Yes. You
Wanted to make sure.
You're good to check. But yes, magic does have some safeguards built into it. At least all good magic. There's some wild mages that leave off the fine details. But yes, you do not fall immediately through the planet or through the floor. You have some control over units.
I wasn't worried about falling through the planet or through the floor. I was worried about being left behind as it moves like side to side. But
no, you are still
okay.
moving with the reality that you are in.
Okay, cool.
So then, is that the plan? And if so, I do need to hear a final, yep, we're doing it.
It lasts for an hour, so she could get a pretty good
She could get a pretty good layout, yeah.
of like downstairs and upstairs if need be.
And maybe get a closer look at the dragon and the cultist and if there's anyone else down there.
Telaise is just going to look at Waverly like, if you do this, if you even so much as suspect that one of them is noticing you, you get the hell out.
Oh, fine.
Because we need you. We need you to take it down.
Like they would even notice me. Come on.
I mean,
Just saying.
come on.
Even if you suspect that maybe they thought maybe somebody was there, you should come back.
So,
Fine.
as the few minutes pass and the oil is applied and Waverly fades from your sight, I have to ask Waverly, which way you headed? Upstairs or down?
Let's start with downstairs.
Let's start with downstairs.
Good
So let's go
plan.
ahead, flip on over here. And things are probably going to get dark for a second. And we're going to bring over the Grand Waverly.
The
The Grand Waverly.
It's still black for everybody, right?
Yep. It's black.
Okay.
Okay. I am frantically dragging things.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
Okay, so we should in and around. That's not how you do this thing. This area. Nope. How about now? There. Click. Do a thing. There. Okay. How about that?
All right, looks good.
Okay.
All right.
So you go down some stairs and you see some tunnels carved in the ice. The tunnels are fairly large, at least 10 feet across, arcing up on the ceiling, massive stalagmites
Yes.
down. And on the floor, stalagmites sticking
Mites.
up.
The mites are on the floor, yes.
Yes.
The
mites are on
tights
the
have to
floor.
hold on tight to
the ceiling. Yes. So, with that geology lesson accomplished, you are presented with some options. Heading off in this direction is actually up the stairs and out to the lower courtyard. Ba-dum-bum. To lower courtyard. Bing.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
that's where you came in, and you went down. You descended about 30 feet. Let's say you went down about 30 feet. Ba-dum-bum. And then you were presented with the option to head either north or south. Away to the north, it's a fairly jagged hallway. You can't see very far because the light is very poor. Thankfully, in the ethereal realm, there's still that hazy sort of glow about everything. To the
thank
south,
goodness.
it bends around to the left before disappearing from view.
Okay.
Which way would you like to go there?
I would like to go south.
You would like to go south. So go ahead and move yourself south a little bit. And the hall continues ahead of you quite a ways.
All right. Going around.
Going around. To the north, it opens up again. Quite large. Heading east or west, you can hear to the right, which at this point we'll consider to be east, the sound of wind whipping down the hallway, and you can see mist blowing in. It doesn't touch you, though. It doesn't affect you, and it's very weird to be standing in a very strong breeze and not feeling a thing.
That is very weird. Let's go look at that around the corner.
As you look around the corner, the hallway descends fairly steeply. If you were doing this at a speed, and perhaps in the real world, it might be quite dangerous. And it lets out, and below, clouds and darkness, and a very long fall to a very sudden stop.
Yeah, let's not go that way.
Let's not. Why would we?
Quick question.
Even on the ethereal plane, that seems like a bad idea.
How does sound work on this? Just curious. Because I'm looking it up and it didn't specify, or maybe I missed it. I was just curious.
It sort of carries in a weird.
You can
way.
see and hear the plane you came from.
Yeah, it's sort of there.
Okay, so you can see and hear the plane that you came from, and they can't see or hear or interact with you, right?
Yes.
They
Correct.
cannot.
Thank you.
Not a problem. So you're presented again with another set of options. A tunnel leading away to the north and one a little more westerly. Ruh-roh. This becomes quite steep quite quickly. And you find yourself having to almost crawl and climb your way up. It does continue, though it grows tighter and tighter.
Would that matter?
Yeah,
you don't really have to crawl in the ethereal plane because you can just go through walls and stuff.
I mean, if you want to stay
You can
on
just-
the
But
on
you
the
would take
floor.
note of the conditions.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
I would.
You're
And
aware.
I'm going to go. I'm not worried about any tight little spaces. I'm very good at tight little spaces.
That's a fairly true
Tight,
statement.
little, insubstantial spaces for you. Yep.
Substantial spaces. So, hang on a second. I need to hit a button here on my side. And my side says open. Where'd it go?
Sesame.
Lost it. Where's it? There it is. Okay.
Open poppy seed.
Open poppy seed. That seems reasonable.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. Walls of blue ice are partially transparent, revealing various things embedded in the ice all around, including coins, helmets, livestock, a handful of kobolds, and an ogre or two. Frost coats the tunnel floors and crunches underfoot. All the tunnels seem to lead to a central core, a glittering cavern of ice with jagged walls and icicles the size of stalactites. This grand vault is split into 2 levels, an egg-shaped upper level with a sheer ledge overlooking a sunken level 30 feet below, where a massive pile of treasure rests beneath an icy glaze. Clinging to the ceiling above the hoard, wings tucked in tight along its sides, claws gripping the ice, is a huge white dragon. Alongside the dragon, a pale woman in silver scale armor stands upside down, balanced on the tip of one of the stalactites. She seems to be conversing with the dragon. On her arm, its tail wrapped around her forearm, its forelimbs hugged between her fingertips, a small dragon. It looks very similar to the great white dragon, except, Waverly, your treasure senses tell you, God damn, that's worth a lot of money. So, let's go ahead and reveal a few things here. At the moment, you're quite high above the vault floor. And then from there, another 30 feet down to where the treasure rests. You hop down and float and land, and all is well.
So, like, right here, this is a ledge.
That's a ledge and another 30 feet descending, correct?
Okay, good to know. Oh my god, look at all that gold.
I mean, that's a lot of gold.
Look at the tunnels. Look at the tunnels.
Yes,
Scout
yes,
the tunnels.
Yes, okay, scouting the tunnels. Alright, I'm gonna just...
Also, look
Ducky.
at the woman, see if you can tell anything about her.
Oh yeah, I should look at the woman, shouldn't I?
I mean, you could.
I would
So
like to
let's look at that woman here. Hang on, where'd she go? Where'd you go, lady?
She ran off to be extra, extra.
Is that you? No, that's not you. There she is. She's an elven woman, long hair. Moon elf, you would suspect, from the silver cast of her. Her armor, scale mail. Obviously silver as compared to the white of the dragon next to her, and there's something unpleasant about it. It seems to be made of silver dragon scales, but it looks almost intentionally cruelly torn from the creature that it once adorned.
Oh god. That's unpleasant. All right. Okay. I am going to just check out these tunnels, see where everything.
Waverly, there's like a sack of platinum right there. Just right there.
What? Where?
Six.
But you can't.
I can't touch it.
Right there. It's just right there.
No.
And somewhere in the ethereal plane, a mouse screams.
Gems bigger than your ears, Waverly.
Oh my god.
You could just insert them as earplugs. You wouldn't even need like little things to make them earrings. Just pop right in there.
Tiny Mouse is having a conniption where no one.
I can't touch the shinies. It's not fair.
I hope you know that I'm imagining like that cutaway that happens where you just see someone freaking out, but you can't hear anything they're saying. You just see them like jumping around and stomping their feet and like shouting what you guess are probably curses, but you can't hear anything. That's what I'm imagining right now.
That sounds pretty accurate. Yeah.
I mean, it is. There's rapiers in there, Waverly. There's weapons. I mean, sharp and pointy things. Vials of stuff. Vials of things.
You kill it. If we kill it first, you can dig through it all you want.
Oh, good.
We'll swim in it like Scrooge McDuck.
That's what I was about to say.
I am absolutely doing that. All right. Okay. I gotta focus. I gotta focus. All right. Go. Look at all these tunnels and make sure that where they hook up where I want them to hook up.
Okay, you start making your way through the tunnels. Again, this is a bit of a climb coming out of where you are back up to the tunnels. And you continue your explorations.
Let's see what's up here.
And we're going to, as you move in that direction, again, that wind whistling past, just not touching you. And then again, an opening, this one larger.
Is it like dragon larger?
I mean, all these, a dragon could probably get through with a little bit of wiggle. But this does not appear to be the main opening.
Okay, I want to backtrack a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to climb my way back up to this ledge area.
Okay.
And I want to check up here.
All right, you start making your way through a longer hallway heading to the north, and then it opens up again. And, yes, that's likely the main entrance. That's a big old landing spot. Easy place for a regular little worm to get through.
All right.
Even if this worm happens to be huge.
But I see lots of ways that we can we can approach this dragon. From above, from behind. Interesting.
Many
very,
options.
very
So
interesting.
here's a question that Waverly will probably want to know about. If this ledge here, this ledge here that we've got, that she was not actually walking across because she's not on this plane.
Yep.
These guys are on the ceiling, right?
They are on the ceiling.
So if somebody were standing here, they would absolutely be within eye shot.
They'd be pretty much staring right at him, one would think.
How high is the ceiling in that chamber?
How high is that ceiling? That ceiling is approximately, exactly, so many feet high.
Very helpful.
I'm working on it. Okay, so that is 30 feet from the vault floor, and that is 30 feet up. So the ceiling in the treasure area is 60 feet from the floor to the ceiling. In the vault area, 30 feet from the floor to the ceiling.
And how tall is the pile of treasure that the dragon's on? Just curious.
Unfortunately, the dragon is not on the treasure. He's above it, and that treasure is sealed under an icy glaze.
Does the icy glaze have a height?
Oh, it's 6 inches in some places, 12 inches in others.
Okay.
It's a grower, not a shower.
She's asking how big the pile is off the floor.
The pile is in the floor, like it is
Like a hole?
frozen
flat.
into the floor.
It's like flat floor, and then underneath the floor is gold.
But it's very jaggedy, brokety ice, drippy, frozen, stalactitey, bad place, really.
That's
Not
so
cool.
frustrating. It's just
That
God.
almost sounds like difficult terrain to get across.
It sounds like it, but it's hard for Waverly to tell because she just drifts on through. Also, Waverly can reach down and just break the gold, the platinum, right there. I can reach through the ice, but just can't. Come away
and
from it.
even if I wasn't in the ethereal plane, I still wouldn't be able to get it.
If we survive, I have heat metal. It's fine.
Maybe come down here with some hot cocoa.
All right. Okay.
So, we have
All right.
a layout of the icy tunnels. Now, I have revealed some of the notations about which way things go. That's more for your reference than any difficult terrain other than the icy floor itself. You expect, with a little preparation and some grit on your souls, you'd be okay down here.
All right. That's good to know. Okay. Well,
How long has it been since she got the potion on?
Oh, I think she can manage this in just a few minutes.
Okay.
I'm fast. Come on.
Yeah.
I wanted to check.
I was like, all right, we should head up and take a peek upstairs then. And then it's like, well, the quickest way is to cut through the room with the dragon. And it's just like, I know I'm on the ethereal plane, but
You could just go straight up through the ceiling.
I could. I'll go straight up through the ceiling, just kind of kick off and float up.
Okay. There is a kind of cold that few people have experienced. The cold of passing through big-ass blocks of ice. Just like feeling it glide along your soul. I don't know that this was a great idea. It doesn't do any harm. But, that's just... Ooh! That's a kind of chill that settles in. After about 90 feet of making your way up through these solid icy blocks, you arrive in the upper floor, and let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, let's not do that ever again.
Maybe no on that one. Now, up in the upper floor, we
Just
will...
want to point out that I wasn't actually there, so that was entirely your decision.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and do the whole reveal here, though. You will move around in time, of course. Let's get that screen reveal done. Let's get you guys on there. Hopefully everybody should be able to see by now.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So in the upper courtyard, two large towers and then several smaller ones rise. You can see ogres camped out in a large room, a good score of them at least. Kobolds still on the upper floor, working and sleeping. Several chambers to the south that seem unoccupied, perhaps for guests. And a large defensible tower. Now, eventually, your curiosity is probably going to lead you into the inner rooms. Monster! Go ahead.
No, that would be probably where I would go, yeah.
You might end up in there.
I'm not sure you even needed the word eventually.
Right, yeah.
Could have been
that's...
fairly quick. Now, I will ask, does the central tower draw your attention, or kind of the old crumbly one?
Ooh, old crumbly.
I'm gonna say the old crumbly one.
Okay.
I love
The old and crumbly one, the ice just seems dry. I mean, it actually seems to be crumbling a little bit. An ancient tower. Windows have been sealed. I got my tongue stuck on a pole. The windows have been sealed shut with ice, and cracks have formed in the walls and the roof cap. A balcony of sculpted ice hugs one side of the tower, 75 feet above the tower base. Inside, the tower's fairly empty. It seems like at one point someone had been residing here, and far above, about 60 feet up, the other floors having crumbled and fall away, you find a coffin. Inside the coffin, a bit of dirt.
I was worried about that.
What?
The pale cultist is a vampire.
Yeah, she is
Ah.
absolutely a vampire. Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Now that leaves one other big tower. Curiosity got you?
Absolutely.
Right. As you make your way to the final tower, a staircase of ice leads from the tower's ground floor to a high chamber, the walls and ceiling of which gleam and glitter. Jewels are everywhere in this room. You see glowing moonstones, thumb-sized emeralds, shining silvery mithril wands, and strange spheres covered in turquoise and gold, as well as dozens of copper levels and golden spheres embedded in the walls. After a moment, the walls themselves fade away, providing a perfect aerial view in all directions, as if there were no castle and cloud stuff around. More than a dozen glowing white runes wink into existence, drifting about the room like snowflakes. And then the runes fade away, and you're left only with walls covered in jewels.
Well, that's weird. I don't know what that is, but look at these shinies that I can't touch. Oh.
Now, you have been exploring for a bit of time. I'm going to say probably in the half an hour to 45-minute ranges. You have been poking just about everywhere you can think to.
I was gonna head back down to the barracks where everyone's staying and wait for this to wear off, I guess.
All right. So
you can actually end it early according to the spell. You can use your action to dismiss the spell.
yeah, basically, you start wiping off the oil.
I was gonna say, like, does that work with a potion though?
Oh my god.
If you're
Does
soaked in
It's-
the oil.
She does a full body mouse shake.
Well, I will come down and start getting this oil off of me.
All right.
But-
As you give a shake, it gets a little ethereal in here. But other than that,
The room turns ethereal.
Waverly appears.
Hello.
Looking. I don't know, Waverly. What is your expression as you resolve?
I have very large eyes. Like, you would not believe the treasure. There's gold, the jewels, the shiny rapiers. I want them. I want a shiny jeweled stabby thing. I want it, and I couldn't touch it.
Did Waverly, did you look at things besides the treasure?
Zero actionable information. Good job.
I did. There is also a very large white dragon, and she's talking to I think a very pale elf, probably a moon elf. I think she's a vampire because I went upstairs and I found a coffin with dirt in it. So that's a thing. But there's so much treasure, you guys. There's so much.
Oh.
Could live like kings. Give it away and still live like kings, and other people could live like kings. It's just
God damn it.
There's also a room upstairs. There was all sorts of jewels in the walls, and then I went up there, and then everything disappeared. And I could see there were rooms, and I could see a view. I don't know. It was very weird, and I have no idea what that was.
Do you remember what any of the runes looked like?
They were just kind of white.
Can you draw
Can you
them?
recreate them?
I don't know. Can I?
I don't know, can you? I think that might be like a wisdom, or perhaps an artistry, if you have any sort of artistry.
I mean, she can cast illusions.
I can cast
I
illusions.
mean, you can cast illusions. That seems like a real good way to recreate things.
So I will make a little illusion of what I saw.
Okay. So as you do make a little illusion of what you saw, does anyone speak the giant language?
Not actively, but I can. I
Okay.
don't really want to waste the spell slot, though.
All right.
Someone did, right?
No.
Oh, I thought someone else did. Okay.
Don't believe anyone did.
Waverly
So,
and I can if we cast a spell.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
you see the runes floating about, and they do mean something, and they seem familiar. And after a while, you puzzle out they probably belong to the same language as AU used for her signature, but these are more complicated than just basic letters, and you
So
can't quite riddle out what it is.
Can Telaise copy this down?
Sure.
Can we roll
Absolutely.
like an Arcana? Would it be an Arcana to see if we
Telaise.
understood?
Telaise, comprehend languages is a ritual spell, so you can take 10 minutes and cast it without using a spell slot.
Fuck yeah, doing it.
Okay. That works too. So how about an Arcana? Because we will need to figure out what they mean. And you do have advantage because you can now read what
I
they're
cast
doing.
guidance.
Thank you.
Who would like to? And it sounds like Telaise, you are the one reading. So how about an Arcana at advantage with guidance?
And help us.
I mean,
I
you
already
have
have-
I mean,
I
that
already have
already has
advantage.
advantage, so that doesn't really.
Extra. Moral
Maybe-
support.
Oh shit!
Wowzers!
Oh.
Okay, that wasn't helpful.
I mean, roll the d4 anyway, but yeah.
Okay, so 11's still a thing. So you're puzzling and you're looking, and maybe Waverly didn't quite picture them right. I mean, there are a lot of gems. Several of the runes that they drew look like gemstones and just piles of money.
That's all
so-
Waverly remembers.
That's
Just the
all
gems. She
Waverly.
doesn't remember the
I
word.
focus on the important stuff. Thank you.
Things. So what you do see though is you're like, wait, that is the rune for storms. Yes. And that one means veil. And this one means alarm. Veil storm alarm.
Does that
We're not
mean-
going up there.
I hope I didn't trigger an alarm being on the ethereal plane. That would be.
Maybe not. Who knows? But, I mean, no alarm has been raised that you have heard, and it has been a few minutes.
That would be the alarm system, as far as I can tell.
Oh, yeah. By the way, guys, there is a bunch of, tunnels in the ice below. Then some of them just lead out into nothing, and it's windy. So you're gonna want to be a little careful and not.
Draw it so we can see where we're supposed to go.
All right, so as eventually it comes back to drawing time, let's go ahead and step over to the drawing time place. So what you are aware is that the general way down here, there are others, would be at the stairwell. You have a layout of the tunnels and a fairly good representation. Waverly is good at their job. And then I need to know what you guys would like to do.
Hey, what's up with creepy weird white, silvery, leggedy armor dragon. How do you stand upside down on a ceiling?
Yeah,
does
and,
one
He's
stand
a
upside down?
vampire.
Elf.
and the silver scale armor from a dragon, that's probably not a good thing. It's kind of
Yeah, silver dragons are generally the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not fucking fighting those two at the same time. Sorry, that's
Once-
definitely Joey. No fucking way.
Once
if you
Joey
have-
says that, Valandra will start. I don't know if you guys have seen her cast like ritual spells before, but she'll start taking out some incense. And do we still have some of the weapons from the cultists?
You do.
She will, if she can, break some of those and have them in the middle of this circle of incense. And ritually cast divination.
Nice.
And she will ask her god, how can we fight the vampire? Okay, just a moment. Let me
Mhm.
make sure I'm wording this right. Yeah, how can we fight the vampire separate from the dragon? It is a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. And the broken weapons are the sacrificial offering for Eldath, because she's a pacifist.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So as that time passes, the DM will frantically think of an answer, and you guys can go ahead and talk amongst yourself for other things. So give me a second to phrase that one up.
Yep. And yeah, I had 5 sticks of incense that were in like my priest's pack or something when I started the game, and that's exactly the amount I need for this spell.
Nice.
we're
that I
gonna have to
got
get you some more
at-
incense.
At the
Didn't
end
we
of the
pick up-
last session.
Didn't we pick up more incense upstairs?
Oh, we have some like horrific incense, but like I don't want to burn that for my
We
god.
have horrific incense.
I mean,
It's probably
yeah,
just
What's
pretty
dragon
much.
horrific?
blood.
Would we be able to naturally know anything about vampires, any of us?
Sure.
Because I'm sure Waverly
Nature,
described
Arcana?
that coffin
Dawn
room.
Would that-
should.
would that
Dawn
be a-
should, 'cause-
Okay.
Helping Dawn.
Guidance.
I was gonna say it's like part of the Raven Queen's thing is that she is against those kind of undead. I guess I could roll.
That would probably just give you advantage, which you already have from someone helping, though. So,
So what am I rolling? Arcana.
yep, I think that's what he said.
Yes, please.
With a D4.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
23.
I don't like running water.
True. So, as you guys rattle down and put your heads together to come up with your knowledge of vampires,
Whoa.
you hit the vast majority of the things that people know about them. Yes, sunlight bad, fire bad, running water if you happen to have access to it, also bad for them. Stake through the heart, bad for everybody. I mean, technically bad for vampires, sure. They're very fast. They tend to be able to do some shape-shifting tricks. Seem to be able to turn into mist or clouds of darkness. They have control over creatures of the night, and they like to have spawn.
Ew.
Very rarely do you find one vampire. They do drink blood, but I don't know that that's all that helpful right now.
You didn't happen to spy any bodies in the ice.
There were several bodies in the ice, including ogres, kobolds, and a
Ooh.
few skeletons here and there.
I mean, I'm not sure the vampire was responsible for the skeletons.
Well, how many coffins did you see in that room? Was there just the
just-
one?
One.
Just one.
Do Spawn
vamp-
need the whole coffin dirt thing, or at least the dirt thing too, right?
You're familiar with legends about vampires needing to rest in the engraved dirt? That one's a little weaker. You're not sure what exactly that does for them.
Do we know, are vampires spawn very different from vampires?
They're not as strong.
So is the light thing, is it only sunlight? Does like magical light have any effect on them? Or
Generally, sunlight.
Sunlight
Sunlight.
seems to be it. And
that's too
The
bad.
daylight spell
Is
does not
daylight
count.
us? Okay.
yeah,
Not in 5e, it's not.
yeah, daylight specifically is the worst named spell ever. Yeah,
It
daylight
used
is
to
not.
in older editions, but in 5e it does not. It's just another light spell.
But you do receive guidance that your enemies huddle in cold, dark depths. Lathander's blessings can lend you aid and drive a wedge between them.
Well, this is definitely
What the
cold,
fuck?
dark. Cold and dark.
Thander's blessings. What the fuck?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Your enemies huddle in cold, dark depths. Lathander's blessing can lend you aid and drive a wedge between them.
Do we know who or what Lathander is?
He's the dawn god.
There you go.
Well,
He is the Morning Lord.
we
So
need
wait until morning, perhaps. Could Waverly tell from what she saw of the caves and the entrances in? Would sunlight reach the gold pile?
If this is east, then yeah, that looks like sunlight would come in through that.
Yeah,
that main entrance.
it would come in directly to that cave.
Confirmation, Casey?
That seems likely.
Okay.
So
That
yeah,
is
the
But-
vampire
likely
will not
to
be
go to
there
her-
in the morning.
Yeah, she's going to be in her coffin.
Do we try and waylay her on her way back up, or
What time is it now? So it must be dark.
It is about 1 a.m. right now. You're in the wee hours of the morning.
I think
And what time were we expecting to arrive at the destination?
Nightfall. So you've got a whole
A whole day.
day.
got a whole day? Yeah.
Yeah, but the ogre or the giants didn't give us that long.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
plus
You guys-
we,
you
we
guys
don't want to
basically
get
said-
there. We don't want to get there before
But if we do
things
if
are
we
taken
do
out.
this at sunrise,
Yeah, sunrise, we've still got 12, 14 some hours after that, so that's
Yeah,
not going to
that-
take that long.
That gives us plenty of time.
We can hopefully fight one of them, maybe take a short rest, then fight the other one.
I mean, possibly, like, the vampire will be in her coffin and asleep and easy to deal with.
but we could just drag her out to the sunlight and maybe just dump her off the side.
Can
I
somebody
mean-
whittle a stake out of a chair or something?
I mean, sure, it's gonna be.
What,
You cut off there.
Casey?
Hmm.
What did you say? We didn't
We
hear
got sure it's gonna be.
It's gonna be totally that easy. 100%.
you.
100%.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, what is the
Yeah.
plan then?
Let's
if
wait.
The plan is to wait till dawn. A few hours can certainly pass.
Chloe
let's
would
wait till-
definitely recommend that we figure out how to set up and be ready to deal with her in her room, in her coffin. That's where she's going to be
Maybe-
the most vulnerable. So I don't know if we want
We
to get
should
set
have
up
a
then.
bunch of stakes just in case.
Are we waiting until she goes to her coffin and then dealing with her first?
Yes, Chloe would definitely know something, I imagine, because Torm
Can we
is...
even get to the coffin though?
We're not allowed upstairs. He
Yeah,
specifically said we're
that's-
not allowed upstairs.
That's why I was suggesting trying to waylay her on her way upstairs.
I would heartily suggest otherwise. I realize that we're not allowed upstairs, but Kuhloe would just say, like, this isn't... She's a lot more powerful than you let on. I mean, I know we're all scared by the dragon because dragons are larger, but she's near just as deadly. And if she's got any kind of friends, we're gonna be in a bad time.
Let's get the dragon first.
I do not want to do that.
I don't think we should risk the ire of our hosts by going upstairs without their permission.
Yeah.
Well, we're just chasing enemies, man. Like he
So,
said, kill all
He
the
did not
cultists.
care. He said the dragon. That's all he cared about.
This is true. And
Is
if
that
we
what he
can-
said?
Yes, he said get rid of the dragon and give me his horde, and I'll take you where you want to go.
That wasn't quite what he said.
Yeah,
as far as I
Casey, can we get
remember.
a replay here?
What I
Sure.
think? Okay.
So, so if you would like, you can eliminate the dragon. Blagathkus will take the horde, and will deliver you where you wish to go for the fee of, I think it was 400 platinum. So if you get rid of the dragon, he's got nowhere to go. He just has some extra cash, found it in the seat of the cab. If you give him 400 gold, or actually I think 300 now, you already paid a deposit, then he's happy to take you wherever you want to go.
Okay, so we didn't need to kill the vampire in order for him to take us where we want to go?
Nope.
we can always bring up the vampire to him later and say, hey, we can take care of that
Or
vampire.
the vampire can attack us while we're trying to fight the dragon and we'll all die.
But if we're attacking the dragon during the daytime, the vampire can't come after us.
Yes, which is why we should wait for dawn.
Yeah.
Because then we are guaranteed that the vampire is not going to come join.
Because
join
we'll
us.
still have hours of daylight afterwards, and we can figure out what to do from there.
Sure.
And if we
I'm
kill off
sorry, I totally understood it as if there are no cultists, he has no reason to go to his destination.
That's what I understood too, but he's saying something different now, so...
The dragon is the linchpin. Like the little kobolds that are scattering around, you don't have to kill all the kobolds. That's just mean.
What was the vampire wearing? Was the vampire wearing any kind of cultist garb?
The vampire is wearing silver dragon scale armor.
But
And a
no,
silver
like,
dragon is
cultist
good.
insignia that we've seen.
No cultist insignia that you've seen.
But if she's wearing a silver dragon scales, then she's probably at least a sympathizer.
And did we guarantee that... I know she can only see in shades of gray in there, but did we guarantee that all of that is covered in light down there? There's no darkness spots at all. Like the
there
ceiling.
probably would be several spots where it's at least shaded and likely dark.
And is
Those
it...
tunnels twist into...
possibility of the dragon, like, coming in and blasting us, but I feel as though there's also an equal possibility of the vampire sneaking into the dragon fight, and that's that's bad also.
That seems more likely to me, actually.
Especially considering the size of the dragon and how Casey was like, maybe fit through. Plus, if the dragon did come up to the vampire's room and tried to fight us, that would be on the top, and yes, it would give us away, but I'm sure the giants would be like, what the fuck, get out of here.
Yeah, if it causes collateral damage to the castle, all bets off.
Alright, so where was the... obviously, Joey's connected now.
Mhm.
Sorry about that, we're starting to stream again. Fucking internet.
And we're alive again. So, time is passing. We'll say this discussion's gone on for maybe an hour or so. Around 2 a.m. ticks by, and the party seems in favor of letting the vampire pass, and then going down to deal with the dragon, hopefully on its own. Though there is some question as to whether you would know whether the vampire left at all.
I figure even if she is there, like, there'll be sunlight. We have an advantage. We don't have to worry about her all that much.
That is true. There would be a copious amount of sunlight coming down several of the tunnels. At least this one here, and lighting up a good portion of the treasure chamber down in this area. But it would probably be fairly dim in and around here, and certainly dark back in on that stairwell.
Guys, I don't know. Maybe Joey's just like, I don't know. Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Which one's smarter?
They're
The
both
vampire.
smart. Depends.
They're both gonna be real smart. Like,
Yeah, is that a...
I don't think white dragons are actually that smart.
Yeah, that's actually, you're gonna like, wait, they're kind of the dummies. I mean, they're still dragons. Don't get me wrong. They're not gonna lose at like a game of checkers, but they're not the intellectual type.
So, that means that she's the threat. And, like, that means that she needs to be gone first.
Although we run back into the exact same issue that we've had the whole time. We have no idea if she's going to leave that cave or not. And if she does leave, what direction she's going to take.
What was the exact wording of the divination I got?
Divination you received was, your enemies huddle in cold, dark depths. Lathander's blessing can lend you aid and drive a wedge between them.
Sunlight. Dawn. His blessing is the dawn.
Yeah.
So it's saying that if we can lure it in there before dawn and get it caught in the sunlight as the sun rises.
No, but it was talking about driving a wedge between them, and that would. But the question was how to separate them, and dawn is going to separate.
Dawn is how you separate them.
That's what's going to separate them.
So that would
vampire
confirm that she's going to leave, right?
yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean,
Well,
So
she's
so I
at
will
least not
say-
going to be fighting.
So hang on. So I will say, Valandra, if you have faith in your god, you would believe that would separate them. That was fairly on point for the god's answer. Now, there's always the chance that a god's wrong. I mean, maybe they're just folks up there in bathrobes ordering people around. I mean, could go that way.
Okay.
I mean, we got 2 gods approved here. So, what else we got? What's the plan?
We all have to agree because we can't split this up. We all have to go after the same person, so we have to figure out what we agree on.
You know, you say that, but splitting the party right now, that would be just
shut
great.
up.
No! Shut up, Casey.
Best idea.
Shut up, Casey.
3 of you go this way, 4 of you go that way. See how it turns out. So, what do you want to do?
I mean, at the chance of making this into a movie, making this into 12 Angry Men, maybe we should vote about it.
I mean, the vote seems to be in favor of the going after the dragon at the moment. That seems the way.
We did actually vote, but that was mostly while you guys were dropped.
Yeah, that was more of a tick in the poll.
It's Joey, Chloe, and Valandra in favor of taking care of the vampire first. Everyone else in favor of taking care of the dragon first.
Dawn?
Dawn? He's being practical about it.
It's the overconfidence with the dragon from before.
First. Dragon first. Vampire. Just knot them together.
To be fair, last time Dawn looked like an elegant cat with glasses. Right now, Dawn is a horrific fried chicken looking thing. Any dragon would be scared right now. So, what's the final call, folks?
So you're afraid of fighting them both at the same time. That's literally what we're arguing for too.
No, but
Because we want to take out the tactical one, the one that has the intelligence to.
the coffin is up on the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
The coffin is up. Yes, it's
surrounded
in the
by
tower.
ogres and all that other shit up there.
Yes.
But it doesn't need sleep. It just needs to be out of sunlight.
True.
But it won't be here.
Oh, I'm sure it has absolutely no way to get out of its tower without burning to death. I'm sure it doesn't have a contingency for that at all. I mean, it's not like it's lived for at least 100 years, probably.
Maybe
Okay,
it's a young vampire.
Let's think about this. So let's pretend we've all agreed to go after the vampire. How are we gonna get it? We're not allowed upstairs. If we go upstairs, we will lose the good grace of our hosts.
I'm
and then we're
kind
gonna have
of
everyone on our head.
surprised at Telais's dedication to following the rules here. I
don't want to get crushed by giants. That's the dedication.
not on my to-do list today either. But we do have the cover of dark.
If there's a way to get to her without bringing the entire castle down on us, then yes, let's go after her first.
Yeah, party stealth checks. You guys are good at those. Let's do it.
Shut up, Casey.
I mean, who says
if we-
that this vampire is even going to be a problem for us anyway? If we kill the dragon, maybe it'll just leave us alone. It was only working for, pay or something?
Yeah,
We don't know anything about their motivation.
Well,
We have no idea.
What the fuck? We have a potion of mind reading.
You do?
We have a potion of mind reading. We could find out if this is what's going to happen come sunrise. And then we could decide from there.
Wait, whose mind are we reading?
That's
We
what.
could read the vampire's mind.
If we get within 30 feet of it. How are we doing that?
What if we just ask Mr. Flip-Flops?
Yeah, let's ask him if we can go upstairs under supervision to take care of the vampire.
Just very heavily hand it of, we have to take care of this so we can take care of your dragon.
So you can get the horde.
We won't go in any other rooms, just let us in that one.
Sure.
Yeah, let's ask him that.
I think perhaps a persuasion-y sort of role.
yeah. What if
Guidance.
what if the vampire is the ogre's friend?
Then he'll say no.
Okay.
We could just ask them, hey, what do you think about the vampire? That's it. We could
Of
just
course.
find out what he feels before we ask,
Sure.
hey, let us go up there so we can merge.
So, at the very reasonable 2:30 in the morning or so, you're like, "Hey, could you go wake up your boss?" And the ogres are like,
Hold on.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, I forgot it was
Maybe we should wait
nighttime,
until
yeah.
dawn.
Fuck that.
I think we are making this way too complicated.
I think this could definitely be our super death if we don't do this right.
Yeah.
The end of the book is the end of the us.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I heard wait till dawn. I heard a couple other things. Time is ticking by as you guys talk back and forth. Salt shakers are being moved around tables as plans are being made.
Okay, well, we can't fight anything at night. That's bad. So why not just wait until the very the first light that we see, and then go, hey, bring him this insert fancy food that we made here, and ask him how he feels about vampires.
You're cooking?
If I have to. They seem to love dead, kitchen meat, miscellaneous kitchen meat, right?
I mean,
have we seen him eat anything? Does he eat the same shit as the ogres?
You have... Wow.
We can ask the ogres that. So that might be a little too...
I mean, you could. You could. So let's flip back to the barracks, and occasionally the ogres do come down from the tower. You can hear them relieving one another on different posts, and you're it, and then off they go. They come through, meet, back up. One of these brilliant fellows you decide to interview. I think perhaps an investigation role. And what is it you're trying to find out, more or less?
What time his boss usually wakes up for one?
What does he eat for breakfast for two? Like, butter him up. It can't hurt.
What makes him not mad or angry when he receives it for 3?
Does somebody polish his sandals? Can his sandals be polished?
So, like, on question 1, the ogre was already cross-eyed. By question 4, he's drooling more than usual. He's like, eggs and bacon, and he likes the wine, and not horses, the piggies. And he lists basic breakfast, and the quail eggs, like 400 of them. And then
Quail eggs.
he likes quail eggs, apparently. So, he seems to be a fairly good eater. And this as, like, the ogre is chewing on the arm of a kobold. He did nice sandals. What else do you want?
What time does he usually wake up?
Sunrise. He gotta drive.
Drive.
He's gotta
Drive.
I mean, gotta drive. It seems sunrise. A lot of things happen in the castle. The ogre goes back on his way up to the top, and he's like bragging to his friend. Yeah, I talked to him. Put my moves on him.
All of them? On all of us.
On all of them.
Like, everyone in here.
Blanket statement.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What do ogres talk about on a tower in the middle of the freezing night for
Apparently,
hours on end?
Valandra regrets her high perception now.
So, when she blushes, does she turn purple? And still,
I don't think anyone knows yet. So
is dawn ticking by now? The other sunrise dawn.
Dawn, are you
Sunrise.
ticking?
Sunrise.
I hope not.
It's about to go off. So, it sounds like we're waiting for sunrise.
Possibly. Chloe, are you cooking something before then?
Yeah, do I have any of those things that the ogre muttered through nearby? It looks like a kitchen in here, sort of. Or the books, I don't know.
There is some kitchen. Kobolds were at work in that kitchen. The guards' food is a little more sane, but a little less fancy. Do any of you carry fancy ingredients? I don't recall any of you being gourmands.
Nope.
I drive carts.
So, now as a follow-up, do any of you have proficiency in, cooking utensils?
I have some pipeweed left over. If I can sprinkle some of that in there, does that make it taste good?
Are you gonna make him an edible?
It's the essence of pure flavor. Ordinary water.
I'm
garnish.
Laced
starting
with
to get
LSD.
the impression that the cooking idea maybe isn't the best one.
I mean, sure. Just lots of pipeweed.
It's a gesture. Ugh.
So there we go. I think so. We don't have proficiency. We have access to cooking utensils, which is good. You actually do have access to a functioning kitchen. So I will just need a D20, and we're going to say cooking is probably like a wisdom-y kind of thing.
Valandra can attempt that.
Yeah, Chloe would be like, "Oh, I'm not so smart in the cooking. Here, you take it."
Does someone want to help her with it?
Nope.
I mean,
I think you stir with this one.
Can Valandra make toast that isn't soggy? Let's find out.
So wait, was there no help with that, or
Chloe
I
would
think
help you.
Chloe's helping you.
okay? As she's making it, I will cast guidance.
Okay. Good to have the help.
It's the
Let's see
slotted
that
spoon.
D4.
Gotta start with the slotted
26.
spoon.
Ooh, the slotted spoon. That is the trick. So yes, a reasonable repast is assembled and ready come the dawn hour. Now, it's dawn. Light starts coming in from the eastern side of the castle. It lights up the clouds all around, and you can see you're quite high in the air. Where are you guys doing? Heading upstairs to go wake him up with breakfast in bed?
Yeah, how do we, can we, is there a detail? Is there someone posted? Where do we...
There's a whole lot of us. Do we all need to go for this?
Oh,
For this conversation?
I'm going because I want to see this happen.
I mean,
Okay, just remember that we
shouldn't
probably...
Telaise be the one to do the talking?
All right.
This is your idea, baby.
This is your idea. You do it.
Just reminder, don't let him know that maybe Waverly was wandering around upstairs in the ethereal realm.
We gathered intel. We don't reveal our sources.
We have reason to believe there's a vampire. Are you okay with that?
Well, we were allowed to go downstairs. And that's where she was.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a vampire somewhere in the building.
We think she went upstairs.
It could be anywhere. So
let's before we go upstairs, let's ask an ogre if we can go up and talk to, and to ask him if we can go up and talk to him.
Sure.
If he's okay with it, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Not you. Not you.
Not you, Blagothkus.
Yeah, please go ask him if we can come up.
To talk to him.
He getting his hair did.
How do you know that?
He's always getting his hair did about now.
Really? By who?
Okay, could you go up and say that we'd like counsel with him for a second? And, that we can either come up to him or he can come down here? It'll just take a minute. Would you go ask him and his hairdresser? We have breakfast for him. Breakfast for him.
And so the ogre heads up the stairs, and after some time and some crashing later, comes back downstairs. Hey.
Was that a you can go up?
I think that was probably what it was.
Okay.
Are we all going?
Yeah, is Telaise just carrying the thing in front of all of us as we watch him eat the food? Hi.
I'm not carrying it. I'm coming up to watch.
I mean, I'll go. I don't care. Or Valandra.
Yeah.
You made the food, so it's
go.
up to you.
Like, this is Chloe's idea. I'm just here to watch how it goes down.
I mean, is there we've established permission to come up right now to talk to him, so we might as well all go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will assume all have piled into the hallway, ascended the heights, made their way across to the tower, which Waverly quickly went through, but didn't spend a lot of time in.
I'm so sorry. Can I get a reference for which room is which room? Which is the coffin one, and which room is the other one?
Coffin?
Thank you.
Blagothkus.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
The biggie one. So, you make your way into the tower. It is open. The door is quite heavy, but the ogres give you no trouble. Staircase hugs the interior wall of the chamber, leading up a landing with a door. The room itself contains a sturdy wood-carved furnishings of giant proportion, including a table surrounded by 4 chairs. The walls are sculpted with ice murals depicting an army of hill, frost, fire, stone, and cloud giants riding enormous birds. Behind, an enormous bed with a headboard carved of ice sculpted to resemble clouds dominates this room. Bear furs are heaped upon the bed, and 2 large wooden chests sit at the bed's foot. A blue-skinned giant, Blagothkus, sits on the floor with his legs crossed, while 2 ogres comb his snowy white hair. The giant, hulking, huge, wonkin' dangerous-looking Morningstar leans against the bed next to him within easy arm's reach. Blagothkus looks at you. You done with the dragons? Dragon?
I was
One.
gonna say.
What?
Funny you should mention multiple, things to take care of. We brought you some breakfast. Valandra, what did you make?
Thank you, I suppose. And he kind of has that look that certain parents give their children as they present them breakfast. Like, this is dangerous. And he takes it. Thank you. And he takes a little bite. Oh, this is actually quite good. Thank you. I've been trying to keep the kobolds out of my kitchen for quite some time now. I'm a little surprised there's anything left that's salvageable.
The ogres are trying to keep the kobolds out of the kitchen too, but in different ways.
Well, if I know my men, they're trying to keep the kobolds in the kitchen long enough for basting. But what can I do for you?
Telaise actually does laugh at that joke.
Yes, he's a funny guy.
The ogres are too stupid to eavesdrop, right? Like, they're not. The hairdressers aren't listening. Out of character, right? Yeah, no.
I mean, they probably hear you.
Okay, cool.
But whether or not they understand.
Yeah, that's
Whether
fine.
or not they understand the context of the conversation.
Or your accent.
Yes.
Your accent.
Totally.
Go heavy on the accent. Disguise
Great.
what you're saying. So what's coming up here? What's the word?
So the issue that you have us looking to address, in the posterior of the castle that we're she's trying to use like bigger words to try and confuse him. So in the lower regions of this castle here.
Yes. My castle, Uber.
Yes. Your beautiful the lower regions are very beautiful. Anyway, so we did some reconnaissance missions, and we're just looking around corners, getting our feel for what we need to do, because we want to do a good job for you. And we came across a bit of a hiccup in the plan here, and we're wondering if we can get an addendum to our plan, by you, of course, because, we want to do things by the book, to help us be successful in this plan of getting you rid of your, giant snowy white problem downstairs. That would be, there seemed to be a fellow companion that we need to get rid of, and they are currently residing on this floor here. And so we were kind of hoping that you would allow us a temporary access badge in order to get into the room to take care of that issue. Just in and out, real quick. We don't even need the tour of the upstairs. I'm sure it's beautiful, but just in, out, take care of it, back downstairs to take care of the real problem. What do you say?
I mean, that sounds reasonable.
See, I knew you were a reasonable man. I love what they're doing with your hair, though. The bangs, they look great on you.
So I don't know if any of you have ever had to deal with gnomes speaking gnomish at speed, but most humanoids adopt a certain look dealing with that. You've now seen the giant version of that on Blagothkus' face as he looks at Kuhloe doing this speaking at speed thing. Yes, you used many words. Good job.
Like, the whole time Kuhloe was talking, Telaise kind of has, like, her hand over her mouth, like, badly covering the smile because she's just amused by the whole thing. Like, no, just keep going. You're doing great.
So wait, do we get the impression that he didn't actually understand what he
No,
just agreed to?
You just spent a really long time asking him something. He's like, yeah.
Okay.
Over worrying, basically.
Yeah.
You went a long way for a short thing.
All right. Well, it's just over that way. I mean, do we need a stamp or something on our hand? Are we just good to go? Okay. We'll just get out of your hair then. I made a joke. Because the...
Oh my god.
Thank you for the breakfast. It was delicious.
You're welcome.
Well
sir.
done. You can go.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, let's go.
She'll turn around and like bump into somebody as she's trying to leave quickly. Like, get up, he said it's fine. Go, go, go.
And, like-
Telaise is one of the last people out, and she just kind of like mouths "thank you" and with the OK symbol, like that was great. Thank you so much. I
appreciate you. So, as you leave the tower, you are on the upper floors. It is dawn. Quite a lot of sunlight starting to glint about off the ice. The ice is not as reflective as you might expect it to be. More like a fine marble than the ice you might anticipate. But just across the way, a crumbling tower which may or may not hold a vampire. What are you doing?
First, Valandra will make sure to pass out like the hand mirrors to everyone, just so we all have a way of reflecting sunlight at the
Okay.
vampire
And
if
Telaise will
it
check
comes
her
into
hair.
play.
Telaise checks her hair.
Everybody looks amazing. And
Question, with that 23 about vampires, did we find out that, because I know about vampire, did we find out that the radiant damage takes down its regeneration for the turn?
fire and radiance are good, yes.
Okay.
You know that they heal very quickly, and fire and radiant damage makes them heal less quickly. The exact mechanic is just
Yeah.
beyond.
Just as long as I have the fact that it's good to hit it with radiant damage.
Oh yes,
That's all I need.
Yeah. Holy things are good against the undead. That's blanket statement.
Do we have like a stake or something?
No.
No. Do we have something we can make into a stake?
None of those
Well,
utensils I was handing
before
you?
that we like
Whoa,
during
whoa.
the time I was saying before during the time we should make a bunch of stakes because we were sitting there not doing anything for a couple hours.
I do believe during the montage, chairs were smashed and turned into stakes. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I heard that.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
So chair stakes are available.
Alright.
And a crumbling tower awaits. What's the marching order?
You want to pull us up to the top of the map here?
And are we not at the top map? Look
Well,
at that! You guys are just
No, I
right
mean
there.
us.
You are. We aren't.
You aren't.
Like our tokens are not
Our
here.
tokens.
That's a good thing. We should do that.
We can pull our own.
There we go. And Telaise, and we got Waverly, and Raindrops, and Valandra, and who am I missing? Dusk. Joey, Kuhloe. Harry has opted to stay downstairs with his stones at the moment. And is Edgar poofed? Or is Edgar back?
He shouldn't be.
Edgar's back, yeah. I don't think he ever poofed. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, last time he poofed was just in the battle royale.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I keep forgetting. So, it's a big crumbly tower with a big door over here.
Over where?
Over here.
Here, you can see mine.
Oh,
Yours is white, and there's a white background.
sorry. I'm not sure how to.
Just click on. Yep.
So, if we could line ourselves up in marching order as you might enter the doorway.
Waverly should check it for traps.
Yeah, send me
Also,
first.
yeah, what was the deal with this? The inside of this tower area? I know there was a coffin.
Inside this tower, you've got about a 60-foot climb to the next floor upon which you can stand. A circular staircase wraps around the outside. About every 20 feet, there were floors, but all but the highest have fallen away from disuse.
Okay. I will stand in the middle of the party, and before we go up, I will, if we think we can take 10 minutes, I will take 10 minutes and ritually cast silence on us.
Yes.
Which I will drop as soon as we get into combat. So We don't hinder spellcasters.
Waverly.
But since there are
Waverly's checking
three
the
of
trap.
us in heavy armor,
But
All
she's
right.
not going alone.
Waverly, perception me, please.
Perception.
You can see through this door. You're pretty sure there's no traps in it.
That's fine.
You're like, I mean, it might fall apart if you push it too hard, but that's probably more of a maintenance issue than a trap. So, silence descends on the party, and you begin making your way inside. It stays quite quiet. You work your way slowly along the crumbling staircase. It's a little tricky sometimes, as you can't hear the crunch of the ice below. You can't get that warning as things crumble and break underfoot. But you do make your way up the stairs, and eventually to the point where you can see the coffin. And unfortunately, the lid is still off the coffin, and there is no one inside.
Well, shit.
Vampire has not returned to her coffin.
Alright, fine. To the dragon then.
Waverly looks frustrated and swings her arms about, silently saying things.
Can we look around and see if, like, something was here recently? Is the dirt rustled? Did she just take a little nap? Like, what?
It
Where
doesn't
are you?
look like she's been here for at least the evening. Though maybe a survival check would give you more.
does anyone have survival, or should I do that?
Oh, Valandra.
I
Yeah,
have
I don't-
plus, I have a little bit of a survival, but it's not much.
Me
I
too.
have wisdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm trained in it. So.
So
Okay.
maybe
I'll
Joey
help
should
you.
do it with help. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Ooh, that's pretty good. So, Joey, you're like, hang on, I got this. And you measure how far the frost has settled into the dirt, and yeah. She has not disturbed this earth since the evening before. But she was sleeping in it when you guys arrived.
Did we, with our high roll on vampire knowledge in general, do we know if they need to rest every single night?
You do not believe so.
Okay, well...
It's kind of a when they require rest, they need to sleep in grave dirt, but what triggers that need for rest is a little vague.
Well, this proves two things, though. One, that, not all of our hunches are right, but number two, that she can exist down there in the sun. So, I mean, no good news, but it proves some things.
She's not going to be actively fighting.
She might be, as long as she's not in direct sunlight. We can't
Yeah.
rely on that.
And with a dragon, it was already going to be a positional nightmare of a fight.
Since we're still in silence, Telaise very clearly pantomimes, should we get rid of the dirt?
Ooh,
Why don't we just
yes.
take this whole thing and tip it overboard? Is there a reason to not?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
do that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
So,
Can we look at the rest of the room before we do that?
So hang on. I heard let's do that, and there's a lot of excitement, so I think
Everybody
that may
turned
have
into Kill the
happened.
Beast and, hoisted
So
it
what
on
I
their
would
shoulders.
what I would like someone to do is roll me 1d100. The higher it is, the more evil the outcome. Please roll 1d100.
Wait, does tipping the dirt out, does the dirt have to be in their coffin? I don't actually know about...
I mean,
Yeah, I was just
If
if
gonna
we're gonna tip
dirt
it and
out.
throw the whole thing over the edge of the
Yeah.
castle itself.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they need grave dirt, and this is grave dirt.
Oh
so,
dang,
yeah.
that's not bad at all.
That is not bad at all. So you tip the coffin out, and you hear...
We can't hear anything.
Other people hear...
No one can hear anything.
Well, some people can. Specifically, there's an orc. An orc about to do unspeakable things, who is suddenly placed about 35 feet straight down the ground as a solid stone coffin falls from a great height and slams into him.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Please,
So,
please tell me we get experience for that orc.
Oh my god.
Chloe's gonna reach in, scribble something on a piece of paper,
Search or
and drop it
something.
down. Just
But,
says sorry.
Yeah, there's just that orc just.
So he got Looney Tuned.
He did. He's
The
Just
poor
Anvil.
thing.
he was buried. He was buried with a coffin, at least.
I'm sure the coffin had Acme underneath it too.
Acme
Yeah.
coffins.
But that still brings us back around. Now you do investigate the area. You can see where there would be 2 other places for bodies to rest, possibly spawn of this vampire, but no sign of them. Also, no real items of note or worth. You can see places where things would have been set, possibly jewelry or clothing, but they all seem to have been taken and packed up. And thinking on it, within the next few hours, in the next 12 or so, you'll be approaching the destination of the castle. What are you guys doing?
When you said 2 other places for bodies to rest, is there grave dirt?
There is no grave dirt. Just places where something could have lain down. Likely
Okay.
humanoid.
Yep. Wanted to check.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. So
And this whole room is obviously it's sun out, but like how much light comes in here during the day, if any?
Next to none. The windows have been frozen over with ice, and despite its crumbling nature, no light seems to get in. Well, no light would have gotten in, except you opened the door, and now there's a fair bit. And you threw a coffin out the window.
So now there's light coming in from that.
That was a good bit. Now. Prior to now, very none.
Oh, there was a window. Did the window have like a window pane on it, or no?
Well, it was sealed over with ice until somebody was like, we're going to
Cool.
throw a coffin out here.
Okay.
And then there was a coffin-shaped hole in it.
I mean, Chloe was basically just getting at, let's trash this room, but then I'm like, I don't want to upset the giant, but I know we can always just patch things with water that turns to ice, so... I just don't want them to come
Valandra's
back.
just fixing things as she walks along. She just fresh coat of paint.
So it's probably downstairs, but probably not in the same chamber, is what I'm gathering.
You mean the vampire?
The vampire, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have to assume, I think from here on out, it's assume worst, whatever that may be now.
Assume the worst, but still attempt to fight the vampire first, I would think.
And I feel like, I mean, I don't know if it's possible, given, how exploratory Waverly was down there, but, like, if it's possible to close off exits, especially ones that the dragon can fit through, that would be ideal.
So
I'm not
let's
sure how we
take a
would
look
do
back
that.
down. So the ice is as hard as stone, and it looks like these tunnels have been laboriously bored through it. A great deal of heat would probably only melt the first couple of inches. You'd have to have something enormously powerful or something that produces walls to block them off effectively. No, you need the launch. You need as many pods as
Well, shit. Plus, I don't know, like, I assume that all of these blockages are walls of ice that are, like, super, super thick so sunlight can't get through, but I'm also assuming if we were to try and block something manipulating water, like, it would also block the sun, I'm assuming. If it was strong enough to hold the
yes,
dragon
I mean,
out.
Yeah, anything that would stop a dragon's got to be pretty thick.
All right. Well, I just wanted to keep the dragon from being able to escape, but if that's not feasible, it's not feasible.
I mean, hopefully it'll be unable to escape if my strategy works.
So, easy exit for the dragon would be out in this direction. The big one.
Yeah.
It could wriggle through the tunnels, you would certainly imagine, but it would probably be wriggling. And, you guys have tried to chase Waverly before. You know when you're wriggling through something like that, you're moving probably about half the speed that you would normally move, but you can get through.
Yeah, and I mean, if it gets through one of those small tunnels, we'll just grab a handful of coin and have Telaise heat metal near it and hopefully melt it in that tunnel. If it works like that, I don't know.
I mean, sure.
All the coin and stuff is buried in ice right now.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You guys got pockets full of coins, but that's fine.
Meh.
Yeah, the only treasure here is this treasure. Doesn't count the stuff we got packed in our backpack.
It's not treasure if it's yours.
And it's not,
true.
so there we go.
So, it is dawn. You do know that the vampire is not in her coffin. You don't know where she is, though. What are you guys doing?
How long does the silence spell last for?
Concentration up to 10 minutes. So if we want more silence, we can. I can cast it again. I can stop concentrating and then cast it again right before we come down.
Because we could sneak
Through and try and
Peek.
see if we can. Yeah,
do a sneak and peek.
sure.
Okay. If so, who's sneaking and peeking?
Probably Waverly.
I will sneak and peek.
Waverly's doing a sneak and peek. Where's
I cast-
everybody else?
Oh, no, I can't do that.
We didn't all come yet.
But where are you?
Yeah, where are we? Are we hanging out on the stairs? What are we doing?
I don't know.
I didn't ask you. I was asking them.
I don't know that Kuhloe following the quiet tiny mouse is the best idea, but she doesn't want to. She feels very torn right now.
Well,
Doesn't
that's
leave
what
her.
the
We got
silence
silence
spell's
spell.
for.
Yeah, we could all
Okay.
technically sneak and peek.
Yeah, then Kuhloe will be absolutely right next to her.
Well, we should probably stay a little ways back because that'll negate the disadvantage. But we still, if we peek out, there's still a chance they see us.
So what's the range on the spell? Are we all just in silence once you cast it and we can spread out? What
20-foot radius
from you?
from me.
I will
Or
go as
from-
far as I
or
can from
from-
you then.
So you need to
Yeah.
be 20 feet from Waverly.
Yeah, so Waverly, Valandra, and then everyone else behind.
Sure.
I can't
Okay.
be next to Valandra, just to add protection if need be.
You can be behind. You can be
Okay.
next to her and behind her, but
That's
you
fine.
just can't be in front.
Cool.
So, who is on point? Who is in the front?
Waverly.
Waverly.
Waverly. Waverly, may I have a stealth check, please?
You'll have advantage because of the silence.
Is that how that works?
Shouldn't
Well,
it?
that is not a good stealth check.
But if I have advantage, then maybe
So go ahead and
okay.
give me an advantage. Go ahead and give me a stealth check roll. Give me a second one. 18 is better. But is it good enough? Dun, dun, dun. So, as we find out if it's good enough, you do realize one or two things. First of which, Waverly's not in the front. So, Waverly, scoot your butt up there.
Sorry. There we go.
That's all right.
You can be this far from Valandra.
Okay, we'll be there right there then.
Okay. And number two, thing you realize. Dragons are fantastically attentive creatures. And as you creep forward, you're quite certain you have not made noise. You're fairly certain that you've not given yourself away in any way. But as you peek around and look to spot what's out there, you see the great white stalactite of the dragon, its wings hugging its body, its head tilted slightly, and its eye focused directly on you.
Oh shit! Retreat!
On the good news side, you do not see a vampire.
That's not necessarily a good thing.
And I think, since it is 9:05, that may be where we draw it to a close this evening. And I believe we will pick back up next week with a set of initiative rolls.
Ooh, quick question.
What happens.
Did we happen to see a mist near the dragon?
There's mist all over the place, but since you are specifically looking for vampiric
Through
mist,
Waverly's eyes, of course.
Through Waverly's eyes, of course. Waverly's fairly certain that nowhere within line of sight of Waverly is there any vampire. And in fact, a lot of this room is kind of sunny. So
Nice.
Likely no vampire in and around this area. Now, Valandra can see down here and also doesn't see any vampire. Quite a bit less sun. Still well lit, but you wouldn't get a tan over here. Down in here is pretty dark. But hey, that's behind you. What problems could possibly come up behind you? But at the moment, it's probably the dragon that'll be the big threat. So I know everybody's got schedules and such and believe people have to run away. Are we good to draw it to a close? Or should we try and get around in? I think draw to close is the wiser solution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us do that. And congratulations and well done. You are now facing your dragons for your Dungeons and Dragons game. And it's a biggie, and it's white, and it does see you. Passive perception on dragons is very high. Very, very high.
Oh dear.
All right, so the next episode is called Spread Out.
Yes. Yes.
Now, you guys did have quite a bit of time to look over maps, so please feel free to come up with strategies you may have discussed in character at this point, plans and so on. All totally fair. You had plenty of time to set things up. You do know it is a white dragon. White dragons are associated with cold. It happens to be in a giant iceberg in ice tunnels, so it's kind of got the home field advantage going on. But we'll see how that turns out. Any questions, comments, or concerns? And I will say, if we have a few more minutes left, there were some real good spots in this one. If we want to do some recommendations, now would be a real good time, because there were some nice things done.
Dusk gets potion of mind reading. I wrote it down. Oh, this would have been useful for us at other times. Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, that was a very Dusk thing to Dusk say.
Yes, very much so. Any other pieces we want to get nominations in there for?
I liked Ash with the stalagmites. Just we immediately came up with the ways to remember them.
Geology lesson. Let's
Geology
go with
lesson. Yeah.
Telaise for the geology lesson.
I guess that was technically me too, but whichever.
Valandra would also get that score because we did it together. Remember, we were in
unison.
unison.
Yeah, we each did one. Yeah.
There we go. Ah.
I'm also going to nominate Telaise for open poppy seed.
Thank you for laughing at my lame jokes. Chloe for going a long way for a short trip.
That's her MO, I guess. I don't know.
I loved Chloe using the big words too. Yeah, just the whole thing there. I made a joke. That one.
This is great. That entire sequence was great.
Oh god.
I prefer to think of it as stretching the truth, Casey. It's just a big stretch. He did look great. She really does like bangs.
I want to nominate Waverly for her greed and
Yeah, that was.
Her money
could
lust.
not
Oh my
have.
God.
Yes, treasure.
I
treasure
can't touch
lust.
the shinies. It's not fair.
And for only giving us that information when she came back first.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff down there, guys. Waverly, what was the goal?
Oh, yeah.
Right, there was a dragon. Priorities.
I'd also like to nominate Chloe for the whole making breakfast thing and polishing sandals and just that whole one too.
I didn't know it was going to be not needed at all. He seemed pretty uptight.
About us going upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the point where he scared Telaise. I was like, wait, what?
It's like, you want to follow the rules? No, I just don't want to die.
Well, he is a lot bigger than us.
Yeah, he really doesn't seem concerned with much of what you're doing.
What's the size comparison between him and the dragon, by the way? Like, why is he having us why doesn't he just, like, whoops, he fell out?
You know, you haven't asked.
I mean, besides the whole adventures need a goal and stuff.
I mean...
Hey, it's customer service. You
Yeah,
can't...
he doesn't want to get a bad rating on his app.
Also, to be fair, until we came along, it was the dragon and a whole bunch of cultists.
I mean, he's got a lot of ogres. It doesn't seem like if he didn't want them there, they wouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was probably a little cash flow.
When you're trying to be the only Sky Uber in the business, you kind of have to have a good rep.
I mean... You get a bad rating, competition gets in, suddenly the sky's full of sky castles.
Ooh, I want to nominate Don for surprising Chloe with his decision to go after the dragon first instead of the undead creature.
How is his practicality a surprise at this point?
Because not everyone agrees that was the practical option, I guess.
Yeah, like, Dawn has usually been like, no, that one's going to be more tactical. Let's take that one out.
Can we all get nominated for throwing a coffin
For killing
out
an
a
orc?
window?
I had that one and I didn't know who to nominate for that.
I think we should all get, because wouldn't we all have chucked it out the window?
I feel like Casey
Experience
deserves
points.
props just for coming up with that. Oh my goodness.
I was really hoping for 100. I was going to be like, the Pope. You got the Pope.
Who's the Pope?
Space Pope.
Space Pope.
Yeah, Lizard Space Pope.
You know, there's a lot of people in the party who would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, oh well.
Just like the new incarnation of Torm walks out. It's like, bam, no, Ilmater. It would be the new incarnation of Ilmater. Bam, right on the head. It's like, oh, man.
He would have been fine, though.
I mean, eventually.
Because he's the god of suffering. He's fine.
That's exactly how suffering works. He's fine.
I mean, have you read about Ilmater?
Yes,
Because
I know. I know. It's just
He's fine.
he's fine. He could just turn feeling off. That's okay.
He likes it. He's into it.
I don't remember getting that vibe from what I read, but okay, sure.
There's like those fake sects, like those fake followers that are more along those lines than he actually is.
Just so you know, it took me a while to come out that it was SECTS that you just said. I was like, where were you going with this conversation?
No,
straight dive to the gutter.
Usually there's like at least a little innuendo. You were just like blunt.
No.
Alrighty. Anybody else? Memorable moments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, it wasn't, like, a super awesome character moment, but I think Valandra, by now, has realized how loud we are. And that silence was pretty much like, how have we not been doing this always? Oh my god, yes, please. Because Chloe was probably just talking through it at her normal volume and like, why isn't nobody hearing me?
Sounds accurate.
Very nice. So, next week, Dragon, eh?
Yikes.
Yep.
This is another we may or may not survive.
I
Yeah,
mean,
seriously, Casey, my heart can't take much more. Like, these two campaigns, we're at the steps of Strahd's castle, basically, in our Tuesday night game. And now this one, we're, like, in front of a dragon that's, like, looking at us. Yeah. Ooh. It's the Land Before Time moment where, like, the dragon wakes up from the upper depths and opens its eye. No? Bueller? I'm old.
Tyrannosaurus, but yes, I got you.
T-Rex.
Thank you.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
100%. Wasn't Ducky jumping on its head at that point?
I think it was Sarah. It was
Sarah?
Sarah, like, ramming into it.
Oh, that's right, ramming it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ramming
right into its
into it.
snout.
Sarah
Yeah.
was my favorite. She was the best.
Yeah, we didn't really do a whole heck of a lot, but I'm
So-
still stressed out by this session.
You know,
It was
you
a
actually
good
did-
role-playing
you did-
session, even
yeah,
if
you
it
did
wasn't like a big
lot.
battle session.
You guys always, like, you didn't do a lot. I mean, you talked in character for a solid hour and a half, and that is an accomplishment. And entertainingly, too. So.
Yeah, there were certain parts where we're like, Casey, weigh in here. Casey, come back.
Come back. We're saying a thing.
Roar.
Yeah, we'll have to
That session
tactic
cheered me
out
up.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chloe's gonna turn around, look to make eye contact with Dusk, and be like, not a pet. Try and mouth, not a pet.
No. No.
It's gonna be white and snowy, and it's not a pet.
It wants you dead.
I mean, it might.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be cool like Telaise and try and talk us out of it.
I hope it's not Telaise. That would be really awkward.
I don't think it's Telaise. I think this was here when we were talking to Telaise. I'm still convinced Telaise is a dragon. Convinced.
I mean, there's a good way to find out. I
I'm
don't
pretty
know that
sure
you're gonna like
Telaise-
it, but just go back and ask.
I'm gonna take my action to ask, hey, what's your name? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that.
Do I know you?
I mean,
Have we
I
met?
kind of want to know its name just for the sake of knowing its name.
I will say the name of the dragon is known by many in the castle. I don't believe any of you asked it, but we could do a little time travel and say, let's say a 15 or so on an investigation check would have clued someone into the name.
I
And then
cast
you're just like,
guidance.
Help.
Waverly, can you see his name tag?
Yes, I guidance is +4 or plus or
1d4. Yeah.
and
1d4.
you have advantage.
And I have advantage. Okay.
Roll it again.
And a d4.
Okay. So the D4 might save you. You do
Well,
need to get.
it would, because
What
it's
would-
15.
That's
Whoa,
right. 15.
that is
That's a-
Yep,
That-
plus
that's
10.
big.
That works, right?
That is
Take the
not
first
how
one.
D4s work.
You didn't tell her how many d4s.
I mean,
Just count that first one.
this first one's fine. So yes, you have heard Glass Hail, the Cloud Chaser.
Oh,
What?
thank God, it's not Telaise.
Can you say that again?
Glass Hail, the Cloud Chaser.
Oh my god, she's Georgian. I've never heard of a southern white dragon.
I mean, there's a South Pole and a North Pole. Just because you don't go there doesn't mean the dragons don't.
But generally, that accent is not a pole accent.
Glass Hail.
Thunderchild, I still say is my favorite dragon that I've run into in a campaign.
Thunderchild is hard to beat. I mean, that's a full personality dragon.
He's orb-like, and I love him.
I mean, he does have a certain roundness to him.
Rotundity.
And the name, too.
Thunderchild. Bar 3. Why are you not showing bar 3? Show bar 3! Ha! There's bar 3.
It's so much larger than our bars.
I mean, it is. This is boss battle bar. It's got like the extra bit on the end.
I mean, like way too much larger than our.
Well, I mean, with
Well,
our
I mean,
bars
that's just because
combined,
it's bigger.
With our bars combined, we can get so drunk.
I'm trying to figure out, with our bars combined, what, like, Captain Planet-esque thing this party would make if they
oh
combined.
god.
He would be
Horror
weirdest-
show?
He'd be so weird. He'd adopt everything. He'd steal things and then feel really guilty about it. And he'd be a hoe.
And a priest.
That's where the guilt comes from.
I think he would also go with it would go with like a slicked back hair look. Like it would constantly look like his hair was wet just coming out of the shower. Full body, like an otter. It would look like an otter. It would have otter fur. I know what you otter do. Dun, dun, dun. It's got so many attacks. You can do them all at once.
Nope.
No,
Please, no,
No, I can't actually do them all at
you
once.
can't do them all at once.
that's not allowed.
It's not how it works, Casey.
Nope.
All the buttons. I'm gonna get to push them all.
What's the bonus XP?
Uh, 20
175 for you.
yeah, you're
175. Okay.
175. Glass ale.
150 for everyone else. Because it's by level.
I mean, in Draconic, of course, it's roar, snort, giggle, snort. But
Did you say giggle snort?
I mean, its name is Glass Hail. That's a giggle snort, obviously,
Dragons are allowed to giggle.
and snort. I don't ever want to try and make that noise again. I think I heard something. Ow. All right, see, today's Thursday. Friday, we're not doing anything this week. Saturday, I get to watch the people. And then Sunday,
We have a one shot.
we have a one shot.
I gotta finish my druid.
Druids are great. I love druids.
I get to be a centaur.
That's a pretty cool druid.
Nice. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
What did he name that one? What was his world? The name of his world? As everybody frantically scrolls down to one shot.
I thought it was Taloma, but now I'm going to say it wrong. Hang on, what was it?
Tormana?
Tormana.
The Licorice Witch on Sunday.
Licorice Witch.
What time are you guys starting?
8 o'clock.
PM Eastern. I
Ah.
think. Even in. Late enough that I will have kicked out everyone else, and that the wife will be playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, go stock up on your peach schnapps now.
Snaps!
I gotta
know.
mute the Sandlot.
Are turtles schnapsy people?
They could
Wow. Was that intended or no?
I don't know.
Snap turtle? No?
Is it
Snap
snapping
turtle?
turtle?
Yeah.
Snapping turtle?
Schnapping turtle.
Schnapping turtle.
Snapping
What kind of schnapps?
Peach is usually what I end up with in the house, but I guess I could go get anything I want.
Wow. Peach schnapps.
One of the perks of being an adult, Casey, you can choose which liquor you get. When you're 18, you have to get whatever that damn guy got you.
That's true.
Or whatever you found in your neighbor's garage.
I think the thing, what is, is 99 bananas actually a schnapps? I think it is.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that.
Okay, so are you familiar with the candy Runts?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever taken Runts and separated out some of the flavors from other flavors?
The banana is disgusting.
Oh,
Okay.
it's
Then
my
it is
favorite.
disgusting. Yeah.
99
Send them to me,
bananas.
please.
Hang on, 99 bananas is what happens if you were to eat a bunch of banana Runts. About a minute later, burp, but not a good burp. One of the kind of burps that bring acid up in the back of your throat. That is 99 bananas. It's a burp with banana Runts and acid in it. And it is delicious.
Yuck.
That doesn't sound delicious at all. What's wrong with you?
Horrible.
You
Sounds
wouldn't
like
think
the
so.
worst thing.
I think because the banana Runts are still using that old flavoring
The
that
old
doesn't taste like
The extinct
actual
banana?
bananas. The extinct banana.
Yep, that's it. And I also discovered that a gallon jar of Runts does not work as drinking food. That was a separate issue, but I did learn that.
That does, yeah.
That sounds like it would have been fun coming back up.